Hey everyone, what is going on? So I have another video for you today, and these are battles that I did on stream in the Evolution Cup, and I hit Legend with this team doing the original Evolution Cup a few seasons ago, whenever it was. The team is going to consist of Vigoroth with hakamo-o and Sealeo. So yeah, just did really well for me. It still did really well for me. I had some good sets, I had some bad sets. I'm going to show you some games that I had on stream. And yeah, I mean, as I said, I did hit Legend in the original Evolution Cup. Chansey is a problem, but it's been a problem back then as well. It's definitely annoying to battle against, I'm not going to lie to you. So, when it comes to Vigoroth, I do like having the Bulldoze on it because it could hit Haunter, which is KO the Haunter, as well as, that was a good catch by my opponent, by the way, as well as Dusclops, whereas if you have Brick Break, not really, it's like triple resisted against Haunter, right? So, I do like the Bulldoze. You could use Shadow Sealeo. Shadow Sealeo might be better, probably is better, but I didn't use it. I didn't use it when I hit Legend during the original one. So I did well. I am in the 2800s, so we're getting there. Maybe I'll hit Legend in the Evolution Cup, who knows, again, but that would be pretty cool. But let's go ahead and dive right into these battles and see what we got going on for us. We do see another not another Dusclops, but another Ghost type, so a double Ghost type team. I have battled double Ghost in the past, I do remember it. Haunter and Dusclops. This one, Dusclops does have Feint Attack. Generally speaking, you do run Feint Attack, so you have a better matchup against Vigoroth. It's not a better move than Hex, but if you want a better matchup against Vigoroth, that would be the way to go, especially if you're running double Ghost, right? Okay, so my opponent is going for the farm down. I'm going to go ahead and actually switch into my Vigoroth, take this attack. This is going to be enough to KO Vigoroth, of course. But I could bring in hakamo-o. Hakamo-o is, I mean, they did charge up a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. I do survive an Ice Punch, and I'm hoping my opponent doesn't get to another one. They actually barely just get to another one, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this. Again, I do survive it, but might as well shield the Ice Punch, right? And then out comes the hakamo-o. I could safely farm down because I know I could take this. And yeah, I'm fine here, so that's not going to be enough to KO. I really like hakamo-o in this meta. It has to watch out for some Pokemon, for example, the Chansey. But aside from that, Golbat obviously is doing super effective damage, right? Sealeo is doing super effective damage, but I do like the Pokemon. Okay, picking up a good matchup. My opponent switches into Dusclops. I bring in Sealeo. So, see how this plays out. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw an attack, and I'm going to go ahead and let it go, expecting Shadow Punch. It's Poltegeist. Now, I didn't forget about Poltegeist. I knew Dusclops has it now, whereas it didn't have it in the original cup. But, you know, it's the first time, I saw Poltegeist on a Dusclops. So, I don't know, it's not that I wasn't expecting it, it's just, I was hoping that they didn't have it, I guess let's put it that way. But either way, it doesn't KO me, and I'm still able to get a shield from my opponent, and I'm going to be able to farm down the Dusclops, and because Dusclops is heavily resisting my counter attacks, I'm going to get a lot of farm. My opponent will be able to get off a couple Ice Punch attacks, but that's fine. Vigoroth can take them. I'm not taking any damage from Hex, right? I'm double resisting it, so I'm going to be able to get a lot of energy. I already have 2 Body Slams, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw out these Body Slam attacks right now. Body Slam number 1 going to connect. Going to be able to throw another Body Slam, and I'm going to switch after this, whether or not my opponent shields or not. So my opponent will not shield. I bring in my hakamo-o, and of course out comes that Sealeo. I still have 2 shields though, which is good. I don't know why I throw the Dragon Claw. I wasn't sure if Dragon Claw or Brick Break did more damage. I know Brick Break is super effective. I actually checked. People told me in the chat that Brick Break is the better way to go. It didn't matter because my opponent shielded it. But you do want to go Brick Break. I guess I should have known that, but either way it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield this, and I'm going to be able to go for the Brick Break. So yeah, going to be a Body Slam, totally fine. I'm going to be able to go for a Brick Break. A little bit of glitchiness there, but that's okay. I'm going to be able to take out that Sealeo. Very good. And now comes hakamo-o. We both KO each other, and because I still have a Pokemon in the back, I'm going to be able to take that game, and that is going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Here we go. By the way, what do you think of the new thumbnails? I personally love them. I did get inspired by Oxford U. I know they look very similar to his thumbnails. This is older thumbnails. I'm not sure if he still uses that kind of thumbnail. But what do you think of it? I personally love them. Let me know in the comments down below. But either way, Go Back comes in. I do bring in my Sealeo. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Aurora Beam. Go Back could generally flip this matchup, I think. But usually they don't shield the first attack because they expect the Body Slam bait. So I just go for the Aurora Beam. I'm going to go ahead and go for Body Slam right now. Sealeo, there's no way that Sealeo can farm me down. Not with Powder Snow. I double resist it. So I'm just going to be... I mean, they'll be able to farm up that energy, a lot of energy, right? Maybe enough for 2 attacks. But I'm going to be able to just spam out these Body Slam attacks. Going to throw them as soon as I get them. So my opponent is going to go ahead and throw the Body Slam. Because my opponent put up in Sealeo, I'm assuming there's no Vigoroth on my opponent's team, which is actually pretty good for me. You know, usually it's surprising. Usually you expect to see Vigoroth, right? My opponent will go ahead and throw an attack before I can get off another attack. And that's fine because I can bring in the Vigoroth. I know my opponent has another attack, but I could take a Body Slam. Totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and do just that. So Body Slam coming out. And out comes Charger Bug. And this is beautiful because Hakamo-o does resist every move Charger Bug has, right? So I can bring in my hakamo-o right now. I resist Crunch if they happen to have it. Usually it's X, Scissor, and Discharge, but I resist those moves as well. So hakamo-o, great matchup for the Charger Bug. But I do think Charger Bug is really good in this meta. It is resisting the counters from Vigoroth as well, right? And it does get to the moves fast, doing super effective damage to Sealeo. So it is a good Pokemon. Moving on, Vigoroth into Vigoroth. So mirror match. At least Sealeo gets to avoid it. So I don't mind this. I'm totally fine with this matchup. I do usually go 1 above, so I can go ahead and throw, just in case my opponent wants to catch on a Ghost type. That's happened in the past, in the previous Evolution Cup. If they're running double Ghost, they probably generally will want to try and switch out and try and catch a Body Slam. So, I think I should have shielded that, to be honest. I think that was a mistake on my end, because now my opponent still has a pretty healthy Vigoroth. Not super healthy, but it's up there. I could Dragon Tail it down, but I do believe my opponent gets to another attack, which is not ideal. Yeah, they're able to get to another Body Slam, which is really unfortunate for me. I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I think I should have shielded that Vigoroth mirror matchup. That's fine. In comes the Chansey. Your worst nightmare. I do switch into Sealeo, but it's Charger Bug, and I was like, I'm out of there. That game's over. Good game. I don't blame my opponents for running Chansey. It's a great Pokemon. I think I mentioned that for this meta. I don't blame my opponents for running Double Charm if they want to in Great League. But, you know, I feel like this meta would be a lot better if Chansey was banned, right? Fair enough. But either way, Go Back's coming out not great because I am weak to those attacks. However, if it's a Poison Fang, it doesn't KO me. It is a Poison Fang. I am able to get to Dragon Claw. I am weak to the wing attacks, right? So I am able to get to the Dragon Claw and get the second shield. That is huge. Able to get the second shield from my opponent. Definitely going to bring in the Sealeo. I do have 2 shields. I'm going to bring in that Sealeo right now, of course, doing super effective damage. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw an attack. I'm hoping it's a bait, and it is a Poison Fang. This might be another mistake. I could have thrown an attack instead of farming down. My opponent does get to an attack. This is the ball. So this is going to KO me. I didn't have to sacrifice that Sealeo, right? However, Vigoroth with 2 shields is still threatening. So let's see what we could do here. My opponent is going to be able to throw an attack. I'm going to go ahead and safely shield it. It's going to be a Body Slam, right? Makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and throw my own Body Slam, firing it back at the Dragonair. And I want to farm down before they get to an attack, and I'm successfully able to do so. You love to see it. Very nice indeed. I still have a shield to my name. Vigoroth with a shield is a monster. So out comes Haunter, and because this is why I like Bulldoze. If I had Brick, my opponent I know is hoping I don't have Bulldoze. I had battled a Vigoroth with Brick Break. I personally do like Bulldoze. If I had Brick Break, I would have lost that game. Good game. Moving on. I think I battled this trainer before I remember the name. Great matchup for me. Sealeo in the lead. I would say Sealeo's not a common lead, but my opponent actually brings in Togetic. I didn't know what to do. I brought in Sealeo. I do not know its charge attacks. At least at this point in time, I did not know its charge attacks. I know that's hidden power, but I didn't know its charge attacks. It's ancient power. I am weak to ancient power. Now, again, I'm just confused. Don't know how to handle it. I throw the Body Slam hoping they shield. They actually don't shield. I accidentally exit out. That's another mistake on my end. They don't shield. So I'm like, you know what? I think Togetic survives another Body Slam. I'll just go ahead and throw the Aurora Beam right now in case they don't want to shield. I get rid of it. I think I should have thrown the Aurora Beam immediately instead of throwing the Body Slam, but it is what it is. I've never seen a Togetic, even in the original Evolution Cup. I just don't think I ever saw it. But my opponent's actually going for this farm down, and because I do double resist the Powder Snows, my opponent will be able to get that aggressive farm down. So a lot of energy for my opponent. Huge spice pick by my opponent. You love to see it. Togetic, very, very cool. We do have that Community Day coming up, right? So I'm going to bring in my Vigoroth right now. It's going to be a Body Slam. Makes sense. My opponent does have a lot of energy. It's going to be another Body Slam. I still have 2 shields. I could take this, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. But no, it's an Aurora Beam. Ouch. But in comes Shelgon. So I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty good. To be honest, I wasn't sure who would win, hakamo-o with the Dragon Tail or Shelgon with the Dragon Breath. Usually, like, hakamo-o usually could just Dragon Tail down the Dragonair and other dragons. Usually, hakamo-o wins, and I do win that matchup. So I do go ahead and throw the Dragon Claw for some reason. Again, I don't know why. But it doesn't matter because my opponent has the shield, and I can get off the Brick Break now because I do have 2 attacks because I did farm down the Shelgon, and I'm going to be able to take that game. I still have 2 shields. Good game. Well played to my opponent. Love to see that Togetic. Really cool. I know Floette is a thing. I haven't seen any yet this season. Obviously, the season... Oh, not... Yeah, obviously the Cup just begun. But I have seen it once or twice in the past. I don't remember its charge moves, though, to be honest. It does resist those counterattacks from Vigoroth, though, as is Togetic. So going to shield that Body Slam. I learned my lesson from last time. Last time I didn't shield. This time I am going to go ahead and shield. I do go ahead and go for a Body Slam of my own. My opponent is going to be able to get off an attack. I know I live it. So I'm going to be able to win because win this matchup because that counter went through. And I'm just going to click on Body Slam, even if it's a Ghost type. I just want to get some damage off, and it's Dusclops with Feint Attack. So it's not going to do much, but it's better than not doing anything, right? So I'm debating on which one to bring in. Yeah, I do bring in the Sealeo. Makes sense because obviously I don't want to take an Ice Punch with hakamo-o. And I know it's Pure Fight, so I know it can have a return. I am going to go ahead and go for the bait here. This may have been a bad bait because my opponent does not shield. I don't know. I mean, any bait could backfire. I don't know that I should have baited that. I wasn't sure that my opponent was going to shield. But yeah, they do have the return, okay. So now I'm not going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam bait. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Aurora Beam just to do some damage. And they take it, and it's going to be Dragonair. And once I get off this Body Slam, I'm going to go ahead and pivot out into my hakamo-o. Hakamo-o going to be able to farm down, should be able to farm down because my Dragon Tail damage. Hakamo-o is pretty tanky. I love hakamo-o. My opponent can only make it to 1 move. I'm going to go ahead and safely shield this. It's going to be a Body Slam, no problemo, and I do farm down. And out comes Dusclops, and Dusclops goes down to the Dragon Tail. I absolutely love hakamo-o. So good game, well played to all of my opponents. And as I said, I am in the 2800s. Picking up an Onyx. I'll take it for the XL chance, right? Picking up another Onyx. It's the same Onyx, but I didn't catch it. But there we are, 2800s. And that is going to be a great video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.